Hello, I'm Megan Catherin, and this is Megan Catherin Enlightenment. Let's talk colour. So when I refer to colour, and it's more about colour wanting to talk through me, wanting to give its guidance or its knowledge through my connection so far. But this innate intelligence, this lights on high, as I call them, they're available to everybody. So this is not something that is exclusively available through me. This is knowledge that can come to you in your own version and your own requirement. So whatever comes through right now is for you to contemplate, work with, decide how you're going to utilize it, where it's applicable and what it is. If you've been brought to this video, there is a purpose and a reason for you. And I see you as the light worker you are. You have a way of knowing. You are not off track. So this is purposeful for you. You have the way, you have the knowledge. You are welcome to join my Patreon membership if you want more of a being taken through with these colors and other energies and light forms that want to talk through me and help me guide you. But you have this ability to even just thinking of these colors, sitting and contemplating with it, whichever color comes up here, is you working your magic, doing your light work. So yeah, let's see how we can move your enlightenment forward. What color wants to come through to give some guidance to those who are watching? I want you to just tune in gently to your own colorings, to your own heart space, let's say, to that clearness in you. Where does that clearness feel like it lives? For some, it might be the stomach. For some, it might be the heart or the head or the throat. Root chakra. We can talk chakras, but these aren't the colors. This is not what these colors are about. This is about opening up your creation ability through innate intelligence of light. So I want you to just tune in to your body and feel where you're drawn to. What is the space you're drawn to that feels the clearest right now? Okay, there's the color that we're going to work with right now. Is this green. Now, I would say out of my colors, it's not the darkest green, that's for sure. It's not the bluest green either. It's probably just a regular kind of dark green. Like I would call it just green. Like it's not too yellow, it's not too anything. And what they're saying here, what I've got written on the back, what I'm drawn to is open to natural order. So this is the green, it's just a regular green, and obviously on a computer screen it might be slightly different, but I want you to just tune into the concept of green for you. Just feeling that natural order, opening to the natural order. So that's why I want you to drop into that space that just is probably more here for me right now. It's sort of heart and then diaphragm. That feels to me like my most natural order space. And what I know that to be is that I healed my chakras and inverted them so that they became a very strong part of my body and they can now create without being interfered. I also have then opened up the 3-base system, which really hard for words, but I call it the mercurial moon, which kind of joins these chakras together. And then the one here that goes from there down is your sun. And then from that sort of base system down is your star system. So we really start to open up our multidimensionality and tune into those parts of ourselves and reorder that. And then we get down to that magnetic core, and that's where I would say sits for me. This is really opening up to your light base, to your heavenly self, to the 5th dimensional capacity of your human form, and the natural order of that. So opening to the natural order that your body is ready to open to. there have been some initiations and calls to open up to these energies. Just trying to get a nice space for you to see that colour, just so you can contemplate it, feel it. Now, if you meditate with this colour in mind and see it coming in, it's available everywhere now. It's an energy of peace. That is what green spectrum is for me, what I was given as an overall overarching commonality is it is the energy of peace, the green light. So feeling that green light to find your peace, to reveal your peace, to open up to the natural peace that we are, not this fear-based, broken down based, disintegrating kind of human, right? There is a natural order of beginnings and endings, of doorways and completions. And you can see that in what this would be, what would remind me of nature itself in the greenery. There seems to be disorder. You know, the leaves are everywhere, they're random, but when you get greater perspective, you start to see certain type. If you've ever got an artist's eye, you'll be like, oh, that tree's very look like a pine tree, right? Very this way. Oh, yep, there's all the branches and the leaves. And then there might be a gum tree that seems like big clumps, or an oak tree that's very different, a beech tree with its different leaves. Everything has a sort of chaos about it. How do these branches seem to grow off here, there, and everywhere? Yet the further back you get, the more you can see of the tree and its leaves, the more it becomes more of a pattern. So we're now starting to come in through time, an evolutionary space, completion. We're also opening the doorway to this new earth, to this enlightened order. And that's the remembrance of the true peace. Being a spiritual being, being enlightened, that is going to bring us a lot of peace. That's your natural order, to be peace. You don't need this chaos. Now, spirit sees chaos as just deconstruction. So in a sense, all of this chaos is deconstruction. But when you're in it, it can seem very heavy, very lost. You might even be struggling in your own life with deconstruction at the moment, but it feels chaotic. It feels like you can't keep track. And yet there is a bigger cycle to that. Just ask a mother. They see the cycles of the chaos of being a parent of a baby, and then a toddler, and then a school child, and then a high school child. And there are definite completion periods. And in that, things change, parameters change, natural order is still there, but everybody grows. So this is the natural order that we're being called to open up to, our growth, our true growth on a broader perspective. What is it about? So we get caught up in the details, right down in the leaves. Oh, your leaf is sticking into my leaf. Get over there. We get broken down into the breakdown of those leaves, when it's falling and when it's not. And it's a season and it has to fall at this time. So we're even in this kind of order that is an outer order, but the tree might not want to do that. I have a bird of paradise plant that flowers all the time. I've had people say to me when they come to my door, well, that shouldn't be in flower. It is. It does what it wants when it wants. I don't know. Everybody seems to think there's certain seasons for this plant. There isn't. It does what it wants when it wants. So maybe you've been holding back on your own natural order, being caught up in other people's orders. Now, on a spiritual level, it might be that you're following someone else's plan, sticking to their growth as the leadership, or in the somebody's ideas of this is how you will grow, but at the detriment of yourself, because your growth might be a slightly different way. So when we say natural order, there are overall orders, but there's a very personal order for you too. It's like the natural version of undoing a ball of twine, right? Now, you might have a ball of twine that's all knotted, and I've got a ball of twine that's knotted. But there would be a different value and order and way of doing that one to doing that one. If you're looping over, I might be looping under. I might be going through 5 loops at once, and you're having to heavily pick on one little hard loop at the moment. So there's some sort of relevance in that. See how that feels for you. Recognize that there is this growth going on in different levels. How far back perspective? Am I in the right place doing the right thing? Yep. Or am I in the chaos and feeling really heavy? Because that's the spot where we lose sight of our natural order. So pull back a bit. And that's when we're in that, we can get pulled into other people's stuff far too easily, or we can get very stagnant, stuck, focused on whose tree is sticking into your little part of the patch, you know, instead of coming back and going, oh, okay, I'm actually the entire field, not just the one tree. I am the entire world. Hang on, not just the one country. Can you see? So what is this that belongs to you or is for you to comprehend? Or maybe I've been looking too tightly and I need to look back more and see the broader picture. Or maybe I've been too broad and I need to get a little bit in here. What's my specific need here? So again, coming back to that heart space or that clear space, wherever it is for you. Okay, it could even be that you feel like you have to sit back here and that's my clear space at the moment. Now it'll move and it'll shift and it'll change as you strengthen and become more center cord. But where's that clear space? Sit in this for now. Go and say, I'm sending the green through my body, I'm feeling it, and it's guiding me to that clear clarity space. And I'm allowing that to help me, to guide me, to bring my peace, and letting that permeate through my life, through my body, through my field of creation, through my reality. And this will help you take charge a little more, or almost want to say paradoxically, completely let go, because there seems to be 2 sides to that coin. And we flip between them, or for some, they're constantly trying to keep in charge and they need to let go a little. And for others, you've let go too much and you need to take some charge. Oh, we went a bit of a dip and around with that. I think we untwined a little. Anyway, this lovely, pure, natural order green, opening to your natural order. Enjoy the contemplation. Thanks for being here. Bye for now.